This is the Drive-In Podcast. Take one. Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to the 98th episode of the Drive-In Podcast. On today's episode, we have 10 bold predictions for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So use the bathroom now, grab that popcorn, and enjoy the 98th episode of the Drive-In Podcast. Howdy doody. Welcome to episode 98 of the Drive-In. This is Dr. O on the horn, episode 98. Shout out OCU Manura. Is that right, Ricky? Or is he 90?
98?
I don't know. Double check that real quick. But as Ricky Flicks,
his name
as Umeniora, Umenyiora.
I don't even know if you got it right, but I typed in human and it came up.
What number? Tell me it was 98.
72.
Oh, damn it.
I'll give you a 98. You ready?
Casey Hampton.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking of, but that is right.
What were you going to say? Sorry, I thought I was trying to steal your thunder.
That's a good. Well, you did, because that was a good co-op. But you know that video with the big Jacksonville Jaguars guy. It's like, hit me harder.
Oh yeah,
I want to bleed. I think it's John Henderson.
Oh, I like that.
It's like one of the look that up. That video if you haven't. It's like John Henderson like getting smacked in the face like before a game, and just him going nuts, getting hyped up for a game. That when I watched that video for the first time, I was like, anyone that ever thinks they could play a snap on the offensive side of the ball in the NFL could never do it. Just looking at that man getting hyped up for a game.
We should do that before every podcast. I'll be John Henderson. I'll be the John Henderson. Yes, and we'll capture it on the Zoom here, and then make sure we do it. Make it a ritual. I like that pre-game ritual, pre-pod ritual. Let's do that. We should have more of those. So, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor on the horn, joined as always by the one and only Ricky Flex. Major MCU release. It's been a couple months or a few months, 5 months now since the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, which featured the main hero for this upcoming Sam Raimi film, going back into the superhero director's chair after his run as Spider-Man director. We have Benedict Cumberbatch, Dr. Stephen Strange, in his sequel to his 2016 original debut to the MCU. We got a change of directors, went from Scott Derrickson to Sam Raimi. We got teases of Professor Xavier in this. We know Wanda Maximoff's going to be in this movie with a substantial role. Elizabeth Olsen coming off WandaVision. We got America Chavez also being introduced to this movie. There are teases of variants of Monica Rambeau of Captain Marvel, presumably played by Monica Rambeau. We have Captain Carter, also has connections to the What If series, the animated series. There's so much going on in this movie, Ricky Flex. I think there's a good chance it explains the future of the MCU. Hype scale 1 to 10. Where are you putting this sequel?
I think you said it right there, but I think the big problem is, even though Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Wanda, such big characters in the MCU today, still at the end of the day, they're not a Spider-Man. They're not a Captain America. They're not Iron Man, Thor. So it's still, for me, it's not as high as those movies starring those guys those people, because it's just the character itself isn't as core. So it's still, for me, out of 10, I'll still go 8, but it's not a 9, or it's not going to get to the 9s or to a 10.
So I think I'm talking about it now. It gets me excited, but like if I was talking about like a week ago, seeing even these like short teaser trailers and these clips from the movie, I'm still like hanging around a 7. Like I'm like Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm at a 10, 11 out of 10, you know. There's like the anticipation of seeing these Spider-Man on screen together in those magical moments. Like I feel like we're going to get some special moments here, but when we go into our predictions, how much screen time are we actually going to get with these characters making these cameos? Are they going to have substantial roles in the future of the MCU? Sometimes I doubt. Right? Sometimes I doubt. Captain Carter, do I imagine her having a major like like, I guess, moment in the MCU beyond Doctor Strange, or this should be a one-off, like Professor Xavier. Will this be a one-off? I don't want to give away too much because we're going to get into it with the predictions, but I just don't feel this movie can live up to the hype it's been billed.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, we're doing a predictions pod for it, so we're still like hyped for it, just maybe not to the same extent as a No Way Home.
Right. Yeah. I don't mean to like damper the audience's expectations. I'm trying to keep it real here. Everyone knows I'm usually a glass half full guy. I'm an optimist, right? But I'm just trying to be real. Just trying to be real. So with that being said, we're gonna go back and forth, similar to how we did the 10 bold predictions for the Batman. I'll go, Ricky Flicks will go, I'll go, Ricky Flicks will go until we get to our 10 bold predictions. So with that being said, since I'm host, I'm gonna actually pass it off to Ricky Flicks for the first bold prediction.
All right. So I have a bunch of really bold ones similar to the Batman situation, but I'm going to start off easier, and it still might not happen. But if you vetoed this, I'm okay with this. Professor X is a variant. Right? Like, not going to be the same Professor X that was Patrick Stewart that we've seen in the X-Men franchise from the early 2000s. This will be a variant. Patrick Stewart will not be the same Patrick Stewart. This will be a different one in that Illuminati. So we've seen.
So Professor X is a variant, not the same one played by Patrick Stewart from the beloved X-Men movies from the early 2000s into Days of Futures Past and Logan. A variant with the yellow wheelchair, similar to the X-Men animated series, also getting a continuation from Marvel Studios, which is cool. So I don't hate this one at all. It'd be tough. Do you think like are you have another prediction with Professor X you want to hold for later? Or because I have some other thoughts I wanted to expand upon Professor X.
If you want to, that could be our next or your first one if you want, or we could just be like a sub prediction, I guess. No,
I guess we'll just do this too. Lead right into it. Professor X will have less than 15 minutes of screen time in this movie.
Love that prediction.
Yeah, Professor X will have less than 15 minutes of screen time. It's an ultimate teaser going into this movie that like have his voice, that yellow wheelchair. We still haven't seen his face. I'm not convinced that he's going to have a future in the MCU. I doubt he will because I feel like he was just thrown the bag after Logan. Like Logan, like the way he acted in that movie, he was going for an Oscar nomination.
It was a great send-off.
He was amazing. So to see him here, it just seems like more of a fan service move. It'll be a variant. Get the yellow chair as we talked about. So a variant and less than 15 minutes of screen time. Well, I'll do that as number 2.
Okay. I like that. That's a good one. All right, it's my turn.
Do you wish that he would have more though?
No.
Or were you okay?
No.
So we're in the same boat here. But this is what I'm talking about. We're not trying to damper people's expectations, but I think they have to understand this is going to be an ultimate fan service movie.
Yeah, and I think that if we keep it concise, we make it just one or two great scenes, so he's not diluted throughout the rest of the movie, which maybe some other characters or cameos might be. But I'm not saying that for sure. But no, I think I'm fine with this prediction. I love this prediction, and I love it. I would love it even more if it was less than 15 minutes. Keep Patrick Stewart's Professor X true. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Keep it true. I like that.
I guess I'll kind of just piggyback off that and get kind of even crazier. I was going to say this for later, but I kind of started this X-Men talk, and relating kind of to the X-Men, Deadpool will be introduced into the MCU in the post-credit scene.
Ooh, Deadpool in a post-credit. Dude,
yes.
This is going to be crazy because I have a different one. I'm not going to
I have other like guesses, but this is the one I like the most.
I love this just because people were whispering that people are saying that he's not in this movie. Well, you can technically get away with saying he's not in the movie by saying he's in the post credit.
Exactly.
Like Ryan Reynolds, he's saying, I can guarantee you I'm not in this movie. You're right. You're in it afterwards, right? That's perfect for Deadpool. He'll be like, I don't even know who will be interacting with. It'd be great if he was with Groot somehow, just like he was in that commercial. What was it, about a year ago? It was the first ever MCU moment.
It was Korg because Taika
Waititi was promoting
Korg. Free Guy.
I meant to say,
yeah.
I meant to say,
I was gonna say like you could easily predict like after the movie ends, like it's a black, like you might get a post-credit scene beforehand, and then you get a second one with Deadpool, and then he goes, "Huh, now that was weird. We saw someone with three eyes, like, or
Him
we
like
saw,
walking through a portal or something, and
yeah,
just like,
we
oh,
saw
this
a
is weird.
zombie." Like, he's like, "That was weird," and then like scene, end of movie. But
That'd be sick.
I think that yeah, I love out of all the post-credit predictions I have, I think that's the most likely bold one that I like.
I like that major character trying to. Like we're seeing X-Men with Patrick Stewart from Fox being introduced here to MCU. We're presuming not for the long haul. Deadpool definitely. This would be a great like, I guess, trade off. Like if we're not getting
Yes,
like him, if we're not getting Professor X, we're gonna show you Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds coming to the MCU. I got something crazy for you, Ricky Flex. You're talking about major Marvel characters. Okay. Two that we have not yet seen in the MCU, I think will be debuting in this movie. I think that we're going to have Mr. Fantastic debut in this movie and Namor the Submariner debut in this movie. Why, might you ask? Well, who is alongside Professor X in this Marvel group known as the Illuminati? Namor and Mr. Fantastic. This type of like tribal board that commands like, I guess, the time, like I guess this panel that commands time and different universes. They're all powerful members, and it seems like if you have Professor X coming from it as a variant, you're going to have like different members from different universes, different people. I think we're going to get introduced to Reed Richards, right, leading to the next Fantastic Four movie, which I believe is at the end of this phase 4 of Marvel, along with Namor, who is rumored to be the villain in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Okay. So that's like there's some connections here to future projects. They're a part of this organization. I think they're really I guess Marvel and Sam Raimi and Feige, they're being very low key about showing these members of the panel. They're all blacked out. But Tenoch Huerta from I believe Narcos is playing or is rumored to be playing Namor in Wakanda Forever. I think we see him in Doctor Strange too. Thoughts on that?
I like it, but this is the
ambitious.
problem with the MCU today. Because now I'm thinking of the debate: are they going to be the actual people or variants? I am sick of it already now in this conversation. I already brought up Professor X as a variant as my bold prediction, and now I'm talking about, is this going to be the real Reed Richards? Is this going to be John Krasinski on the screen or whoever? Right? We haven't heard anything about who would it be though. That's my we would hear some rumors, I think, about just like who's going to play the next Fantastic Four, Reed Richards in the next Fantastic Four, before we get them in this movie. But I do like it. It makes sense with the panel, the Illuminati panel. Do like it. That's just my only like holdback thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like they're choosing who's going to be a part of the universe that is being introduced in this movie. It feels like they're all in it or none of them are in it. And it's just I have a feeling also this could have an IP being thrown at you type feel, like a Ready Player One, where it's like, oh, look at that from one of our favorite movies or our favorite comic book characters, but like it won't amount to anything. It's just for the sake of fan service, and that will lead to a lot of tension in the MCU fandom, right? Because these people are going to be introduced, and they're going to be like, oh, are we going to see these people again? And like Kevin Feige will say, it's a multiverse, anything's possible, but in actuality, will we see them? Most likely not. So if you have Patrick Stewart presumably not showing up in any future projects, why would any other members of the Illuminati show up later on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head.
Okay. Maybe I'd be hedging my bet a little bit if I said either Mr. Fantastic or Namor will be introduced in this movie. But for the sake of being bold, let's say both, right? Let's have this movie should have major implications on the future of the MCU. It's going to happen here. Prediction number 5, you're up, Flicks.
Okay. I'm in between two here because they kind of debate each other, or they don't cancel each other out, but all right. Pick a number, 1 or 2, Doctor.
2.
All right. Then it's not as bold. So I could go the other one if you want. But Wanda's will turn out to be the big bad in this at the end of the movie and going forward.
I don't agree. I'll let you say it, but I don't agree.
My prediction.
Go ahead.
So like my prediction, to preface it, because the first one's like I think Wanda helps Doctor Strange, like in the climax, defeat Doctor Strange Supreme, and like basically cleanse everything. But then she's so driven to get back with her family together that she goes bad, and then we go on to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe post the movie, and then her House of M gets created and everything going forward. So I think that's like the path that we're going here. But to say that the big bad, no, she just goes bad at the end is like basically what I'm trying to say.
I could see a variant of Wanda being the villain. I don't know.
There's one. It seems like there's one in the trailer, so I would be okay with that.
The thing is, like, they just had WandaVision where Wanda was sort of already a villain in an MCU project. Like, to see her in a villainous role again, I'm not sure people would be really receptive of that. Like, they'd be thinking like, hey, we don't want her just to be known as like a villain, and like she's been a destructive figure in Marvel movies past, maybe unintentionally, but we've seen that darkness in her. So I guess I wouldn't be shocked if she was the villain, but I guess like
she's going to become a villain because of this movie is like what I'm saying.
So you think in the future of the MCU she's gonna be a villain?
Like,
oh my god, dude, I can't type that. Are you kidding me?
Well, then what are you thinking? Like, give me some help then.
I think the villain of the movie has not been shown. The ultimate villain, we don't know. It's not going to be Baron Mordo. It's not going to be Elizabeth Olsen, and it's not going to be that huge monster at the end. I think it's someone
Supreme Doctor Strange.
I think it's someone that has not been shown.
All right, I think that's a prediction. I think that should be on.
Well, yeah, but I just went over. But I do we have to have the same? Are we like pitting our villains against one another? Maybe you go with. You want to go with your other one instead, or like because I don't think that Wanda would be the villain twice in a row, but someone who's notably a hero. You know what I mean? And she's gonna have that relationship again with Vision, most likely, even though it's not the original Vision. I don't know. So her kids are gonna be in this.
Do you think White Vision makes an appearance in this?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a hot one.
I'm saying no. Did you write that one down?
Yeah.
We got to make these
not
official.
That I like it.
God damn it. We got to make these.
We're bouncing around ideas.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about the family then. Billy and Tommy aren't going to be real. It's either going to be like a vision that she has or like a flashback. They're not actually going to be in this movie.
But I feel like it'd be cruel for them not to be real and be brought back again. It would be cruel because they already were fake. Like, I feel like if anything, they would become real after this movie, and therefore she's not the villain.
Do you want to know another? All right, now we're just going off of. I'm just going to go all my Wanda like crazy bold predictions, not actually predicting them. Here's another one that I know you're going to veto. Wanda dies in this.
Oh my god! Get this guy off the podcast.
Like,
what?
Seriously, that would be crazy if that happened.
Dude,
like helping Doctor Strange.
After WandaVision, she's like one of those popular.
That was her
MCU
peak.
characters.
Like that was her movie.
No, there's probably going to be another series with her or a movie. Like she's getting. It was WandaVision was so big. Like, oh, we got to put her in Doctor Strange too. Like,
but Agatha's getting her own series. I'm just saying, I could see that happening too. I wasn't going to say that until now. Like, we're just going through all of my options here.
I feel like we got to pick one Wanda one. But I feel like we're torn. I feel like we just go to a different one and we come back to Wanda. Just so we have. So I got one. Can I give you one?
Wait, so we're at 5 right now.
We're at 4.
Right, then you have your Wanda one that I liked.
Okay, so Wanda. That means that the main villain behind everything hasn't been introduced yet.
Yes, we're at 5 now. Now it's 6.
I was thinking that this will bridge a connection to Loki and Kang and build the future of the multiverse in the MCU. And this will go into Quantumania. That was going to be one of my predictions.
So Quantumania coming up, that makes sense.
Yes. So Loki will appear in some capacity, but it's more about like bridging a connection to it. So it's not even about Loki showing up. It's more the fact that this will directly address the events that happened with Kang the Conqueror that Spider-Man No Way Home has didn't dive into whatsoever.
I like that. And I mentioned the Ant-Man movie, Quantumania. I think that we didn't go over it in yesterday's checkup, but like they swapped release dates with the Marvels. So now Quantumania is going to be the next movie after Thor: Love and Thunder, right? In 2023, February.
They did switch the dates, yes.
So maybe it's because of this bold prediction.
That'd be interesting. But yes, I like that. This will bridge a connection. I'm typing it out, so I'm saying it out loud again. This will bridge a connection to Loki. Because I feel like Loki, that had such an amazing cliffhanger. And people are just begging to and people are waiting to see okay, how are these movies going to connect to the multiverse that's created there and what Kang did that you thought everyone would feel the remnants of afterwards. So we had Shang-Chi that didn't really respond to it whatsoever. Spider-Man kind of just had Doctor Strange opening up this multiverse on Earth for a hot second, but it did. And you saw some shades of purple in the sky at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. So people are kind of making guesses there that has connections to Loki. I think this one will outwardly make connections, and they might even use Kang as an actual reference in this movie. Hopefully show him.
Okay. The actual reference might be tough, but I do like the connection, I guess, with Loki and then going into Quantumania. I do like that.
Yes.
Okay. Number 7. I'm going here. Going different realm. Doctor Strange's box office will not beat the Batman.
Wow. So you think Doctor Strange is going to make less than $800 million?
Correct.
Whoa. I don't know, Ricky. You're crazy.
Cameo's not as big.
Marvel,
yes, but
following of Spider-Man.
John Watts. We talked about it yesterday. Are we comic booked out? This isn't Spider-Man No Way Home. This is Doctor Strange. People just saw their comic book movie in the Batman or with Spider-Man, right? Are we Spider-Man out? Are we Doctor Strange out right now? Are we comic booked out? And outside of this isn't kid friendly. This isn't your normal Marvel movie. They've talked about how it's a horror aspect, and these trailers clearly are showing that as well. Maybe parents aren't going to take their kids to see this as much.
Yeah. Maybe. How much did the Batman make officially? It's got to be $750.
750-ish.
I'm going to I would be more comfortable saying it will make less than $800 million, but we'll say this. We'll stick with yours because I just gotta accept some of the ones you're saying.
I'm running out of bold predictions.
These are really bold.
764.4 million.
Okay, so we're saying Doctor Strange will make less than the Batman.
And also, it's not in some countries because of LGBTQ.
Okay, good point. But Spider-Man didn't even get released in China and made what's the 5th highest grossing movie of all time.
Did the Batman get released in China?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
It's
the Batman.
We'll say it. Doctor Strange is going to make less than the Batman.
It's a bold prediction for.
I'll ride with it, Ricky. But if it's wrong, I'm putting your name on the graphic afterwards.
All
right, I like that. It's definitely bold. I like that. I think also this is going to be the last we see of Christine Palmer in the MCU. Last of Rachel McAdams. I don't think this is a Natalie Portman situation where she'll come back in the future. I don't know the comic book references for Christine Palmer, but the fact that Rachel McAdams, I think, had some beef with Marvel before. I think we're lucky to get her back in this movie. I don't see her just being with Stephen Strange after this. It could be a situation that's similar to the What If episode we saw where Stephen cannot have her even though he wants to be with her. I just don't see her being in the future of the MCU. Rachel McAdams not being in the future.
So I had one written down. I love that. I think that's actually a safe play compared to what I'm about to say. I think it's gonna be a variant. I'm all variant up in this movie. Like,
I got something else. So like, I think we should keep mine, and then I have something to build
Yeah.
on yours. Let me type this in, but continue with that. That's good.
I know. Like, seriously though, like, I just don't see how it's possible. Doctor Strange made his pathway. It's different. We're opening up. Like, how many universes are in this? There's so many, and I think with Rachel McAdams, like, it's just not gonna be a lot of screen time. This can't be because there's so many other different characters. If they were gonna dedicate the true Rachel McAdams' character from the original, she would get significant screen time. I think Doctor Strange is going to be in a universe where he sees himself getting married to her, or like a flashback when he meets Supreme Strange. Supreme Strange is like explaining why he's done this, and he goes, "Oh, Rachel McAdams, my wife, like died, and I went on this rampage of trying to bring her back, and then I became this." I think that's what it's going to be. It's not a variant or flashback, whatever you want to say, but not a crucial role in this movie at all whatsoever.
So we can combine this. Like, Christine Palmer won't have a future in the MCU, and she's a variant.
Yeah, or just like not the true one. Let's just keep yours.
So we could keep if we're saying she's a variant, that will guarantee like she won't have a future in the MCU. So I think we'll say Christine Palmer is a variant. That's good. I like that.
Okay. I was gonna say another good one's like she would not appear in another Marvel thing. I don't mind that one either.
Okay. I want to say variant.
Okay.
Christine Palmer's a variant. We're going all in the variants. It makes me think most of the characters in this like that appear here, cameos and whatnot, just simply won't have a future. So I wanted to put like a number to it, like Captain Carter, this version of Captain Marvel here. I feel like, and we talked about Professor X, I feel like there's going to be like 10 plus cameos in this movie. 10 plus cameos from that haven't been seen in the MCU before.
So new people, new cameos.
So like different variations of heroes. Like we won't count that. Like maybe we'll count Doctor Strange one variant, or we won't count all the zillion. That's going to be him. Wanda one, Captain Carter one,
Rambo,
Captain Marvel, Professor X, and I think we're going to see like 5 other ones. And I think they're going to be throwbacks because that's only
the post credits.
Because the 5 we just said were all in the trailers. They were all in the trailers.
And then we have your prediction that adds another 2, so we're already at 7.
Right. So I'm going to say 8 to 2. We could play it safe and say 8 to 10. At least 8. I think 8 is a better prediction. I think there's going to be 8 major cameos in this film.
All right. It sounds good. Is that 10 predictions? Did we just do 10?
That's 9, I think.
Okay.
I'm keeping track. We need one more. Do you got a juicy one?
I did, but it's another one where I don't actually believe it will happen, but I would have loved it. But again, I still think the Wanda thing could happen. So I guess I'll just play off of that. Like, will the biggest scene in this movie be like her facing her variant then? Is that what you were saying before? Like,
I was thinking like if there was no villain, which would be hard to believe, it would be Wanda and Doctor Strange versus Variant Strange, Variant Wanda. And then maybe these cameos, because like maybe these variants have to come into a final battle where there's like multiple Stephen Stranges or multiple Wandas. That could be.
We have to have an evil Wanda in this movie. Like there is an evil.
No, I think it's been confirmed. There's gonna be a variant of her. I think that literally was said by it might have been Sam Raimi or Feige. Like there is an evil variant of Wanda, but there's also moments in the trailer where Captain Carter is fighting like Wanda Maximoff. And is that like the variant that she's fighting, or maybe Wanda's unsure of what to think of Captain Carter at that moment? It could be like almost like an Avengers moment where Iron Man is fighting Thor and Captain America has to break it up. You know, I could see that type of thing happening when all these different heroes are making their cameos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a good take.
Do you think so? This could be, if we want to form this a little bit, like fine tune it.
Let's work with it.
These major cameos will be in the final battle, right? That Doctor Strange has to take down whatever antagonist. So there'll be a major battle with multiple MCU heroes.
Done. I like that.
Okay. Let's jot it down. All right. So we have 10. We have 10. I'm going to read them out and we'll see if we want to fine tune anything. And you got to see any honorable mentions. We can switch out a couple. Final battle, I'm reading out loud, will be with multiple MCU heroes. Beautiful. All right, let's read them out loud. Tell me if you're A-okay. So after each one, give me a yeah or a yay or a nay. Professor X is a variant. You're frozen. Sorry.
Do it again.
Professor X is a variant.
Yay.
Professor X has less than 15 minutes of screen time in this film.
Very much yay.
Deadpool will appear in a post-credit scene in an introduction to the MCU.
Yay.
Mr. Fantastic and Namor will be introduced in this movie.
Yes.
That might be the craziest one. The main villain has not been seen in any trailers yet.
Yes.
This movie will bridge a connection to the events of Loki and Kang from the Loki series.
Yay.
And also will lead into Quantum Mania and Kang's appearance there.
Yeah.
Next.
I like that part even better.
Doctor Strange will make less money than the Batman at the box office.
Let's go. Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, don't let me down. This is on me.
The Christine Palmer we see in the trailer is a variant.
Yes.
Next, there's going to be at least 8 major cameos in this movie from characters we haven't seen yet in the MCU.
Correct.
And that includes, it could be like characters from former movies, and that includes like also variations of heroes we've come to know.
Post-credit scenes.
Yes. And then finally, the last battle will be with multiple MCU heroes, these characters that are making cameos and are variants.
Yay.
Those are 10 pretty good predictions. I think the Mr. Fantastic and Namor could be workshopped a little bit. We could say Mr. Fantastic or Namor, but I feel that's really bold if we just say both. Shout out the Illuminati.
Yes.
Freaking right. All right. Any other ones that you wanted to sneak in, maybe in terms of like that were in the back of your mind? I kind of already got mine off. The last one I had, Nick Fury, I think will make a cameo. What if we have like Nick Fury? Because there's like too many like
the scrolls right now.
Yeah, maybe a variant Nick Fury. It could be kind of cool. Maybe a variant Nick Fury on the Illuminati Council. Not a bad one.
That's pretty good.
Variant Nick Fury in the Illuminati Council. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I don't know. That's tough.
That'd be too crazy when he's getting super.
But you think of like leaders of the MCU, like guys who control what's happening.
Robert Iron Man, Tony Stark.
That was one that was a popular one. I don't think we're gonna get another version of Iron Man yet. I feel
Robert Downey Jr. No way. Too soon.
That I don't think we'll get someone else playing an Iron Man character. Like you could have Iron Heart because we're gonna have like a Iron Heart movie, but she's very young. The actress that's playing her, Riri Williams, that character. So I don't know if Riri Williams is playing her. I just know Riri Williams. Is that the name of the character?
I don't know.
Riri Williams.
I haven't been following Ironheart. But,
yeah, that's the name of the character.
Okay.
Dominique Thorne. She might be playing Ironheart.
We did talk about that.
I think Dominique Thorne. Judas and the Black Messiah.
I was trying to think of some predictions around the X-Men besides Professor X, but I think we're going to be the only X-Men connection is going to be Professor X. That's going to be like our thing. I think with the X-Men.
It's just acknowledging like the X-Men are now owned by Marvel.
That's Studios. It. I was thinking like, Pietro, do we get Quicksilver? No, like Aaron Taylor Johnson, like go do Kraven the Hunter, do Bullet Train. Like we're good without you here. So I'm going to say no Pietro here, no Quicksilver, no fake Quicksilver, no. And then nothing else related to the X-Men I was going to say as well. Deadpool doesn't count, X-Force. And then my final one, I was never going to say this, but I want to say this as an honorable mention. And that's why when you said Reed Richards, my eyes popped up. And related to the House of M, someone that has like a low-key major role in it, but like in the House of M, but not actually major role, is Dr. Doom. What if we got
Wow.
like a post?
That would be crazy.
Doctor Doom.
If
Or
Doctor Doom got introduced before any other Fantastic Four character, you know?
Yeah. Or the other one I was thinking is who has the major role in House of M with Wanda is Magneto. If we got like a reference to Magneto, or like Professor X like referred to him, or like said like, oh, like somehow Wanda got brought up on the council.
What if he's on the council? What if Magneto's on the freaking council?
Ian McKellen coming back.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's another crazy one. But like maybe like an even crazier prediction would be like, oh, like that makes sense. Wanda's involved because like Magneto's like daughter potentially situation.
Oh, dude.
Like I'm just crazy predictions going on right here.
Let's do that as a bonus one. Magneto makes an appearance as Wanda's father.
That's wild. Yeah. I like Wanda dying before that as a prediction.
No, that's just a bonus. That's a bonus. That's like that's our mulligan. That's just like a freebie. Like we just got, and we get to like put this clip out if it's actually correct. I like that.
Okay.
All right.
Then that's it. I'm done.
That's all I got too. That's all I got for our 10 bold predictions. Okay. Fantastic job, Ricky Flex. Like you took bold predictions and then you basically put it on steroids. Well done.
I'm very do.
Yes, that's what he did. And it's going to make for a hell of a YouTube video. And that's going to do it for a hell of a podcast. Make sure you go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness out this weekend. We are going to do a non-spoiler and spoiler review. We'll be dropping right after we see the film. Get ready to roll. Along with that, we should play out the pods for the rest of the week. We have Moon Knight recap, I should say, for the finale coming out tomorrow. And then finally, our MCU supporting characters draft. We hinted at a couple potential picks today. So make sure you tune into that to help get pumped up for Marvel's newest blockbuster, them following up Spider-Man No Way Home. This is Dr. L and Ricky Flicks signing off for the Drive-In Podcast. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at the Drive-In Podcast. Make sure you follow us on whatever platform you get your podcast. SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, the whole shebang. That's going to do it. Until next time, we will smell ya.